Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Let's make sure audio is working good. Welcome. I've got a good show ready for you today. Welcome. Yeah. Come on in. Hey Natu, welcome. Help me ping everybody else into the room. Welcome. We're gonna be very quick today. Today is cruise/masterclass. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications as you're coming in. We're gonna talk today about the same guy. They're all the same guy, but today I just want to show you some similarities, and then I want you to use some of the similarities in your favor. I'm going to share 10 similarities. I'm going to share 5 similarities around our framework, which is self-power, social seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence. I'm also going to share probably 5 dangers I think you should watch out for. But we can't keep talking about this guys and not learn something. I mean, we've been learning, but today I want to focus on what can we learn about what is working for them, especially when it comes to business owners, content creators, influencers, parents, husbands, wives. That's what I want to do today. All right, that's what I want to do today. Help me hit the like button. Let's ping others into the room. Let's do that right away, and I'm starting about 60 seconds. Yeah, same guy. Look closer. Not to say MOP, we miss you. I miss you too, Natu. Where have you been, Natu? You've been hiding from me. Yeah, hit the like button. So we're talking about VERYDARKMAN. We're talking about Portable. They've been in the news lately, consistently, maybe for 3 years. We're talking about, who else is this? Who is this person? There's a third person here. DARLINGTON. We're talking about DARLINGTON, right? We're talking about so Portable, DARLINGTON, BOBRISKY, of course, BOBRISKY. All right, let me see. I can turn this down a little bit. Get out. Let's see. All right, there you go. So we're talking about BOBRISKY, okay, and we're talking about, I was gonna add Blessing CEO and say the budge, but I'm not comfortable dragging women. I just, I don't think it really matters that much. But let's get into it, okay? So again, today, this is just a quick small masterclass for those of you that care about some of the lessons we're getting out of this. We're going to talk about the 10 key similarities between VERYDARKMAN, VDM, BOBRISKY, okay? These are people to be studied. Okay, it's not every time you jump on the internet you just engage this stuff with your emotions. What is it that we can learn about those guys? Let me bring my microphone closer. What can you learn about those guys, and how can you benefit from whatever is working for them? Why are we talking about them? Well, they're trendy. They're trendy, and they get a lot of attention. You say Very Dark Man, it gets attention. You say Speedality, it gets attention. You say Bobrisky, it gets attention. And I'm sure you have your theory around why they're getting attention. But beyond right and wrong, your moral standards, there are other reasons. Okay. But before we get into that, I want us to just look at the similarities. I want you to know that these are essentially the same guys. Okay. In terms of these qualities that I'm about to share with you, you might even say they're not qualities, they are what's, I don't know how you feel about them. Or maybe you're one of the Rattle gang and you're like, oh yes, it is qualities. What can we learn about these guys? So I just wanted to come here and drop this here. I've scheduled it for a few days, and let's get into it. Okay, number one similarity is frequent legal troubles. Frequent legal troubles. Obviously, a normal person does not wake up on any given day looking for legal troubles. We do know that Very Dark Man looks for legal troubles. Allegedly, according to what do you call it? Pals, the bad guy, right? It's like, Shebi, you are a lawyer, sue me now. So why is he looking for legal troubles, right? Now, can we say the same thing about Bobrisky? Is Bobrisky looking for legal troubles? No, but the way Bobrisky moves tend to attract legal troubles. Speedality, is he looking for legal troubles? The answer is yes. He's still trolling Burna Boy out there. So, life would have to say, those rattles are bloodsuckers. Yeah, you want to engage them? Good luck with that, okay? But we can learn from why it works and why he was able to build a community. That's what I want us to pay attention to. He built a community, right? Who is the sucker here? It's not us, because we're going to learn from it, right? Them are the suckers, okay? Right? But we're going to learn from the phenomenon, the concept. And that's why I set this up today, okay? All right, so he built a community. That's what you should pay attention to. Every businesses should build a community, should master the skill of building communities. Okay, there's a whole skill around it. But anyway, VDM, he's been arrested multiple times for things like cyber stalking, defamation. I think he just got another lawsuit today from ABC Transportation's daughter, right? Obviously online accusations, right? So does he know what he's doing? I don't know. That's why you always hear me say, I hope he knows what he's doing. Because sometimes some people strategize around this and they actually know what they're doing and they know what the risks are and they are open to whatever the downside is. Okay, I'm in New York City, so pardon the honking. There's a lot of waiters in New York City. I mean, the best hotels in Midtown, and you know, they're just waiting. New York City is like junior Lagos. All right, so yeah, we're talking about the frequent legal troubles, right? That's number one similarity. So VDM has attracted multiple lawsuits. You know, he's about to attract some more from Nedu and Nedu's management company, not his management company, the company that manages Nedu. I think, what they call them again, bicycles. I don't know, I forgot the name. But if you listen to the press conference with Nedu today, you know there's more lawsuits coming for VDM. So of course he's going to jump out there and say, yeah, we're fighting. We'll talk more about that later on. But anyway, Bobrisky was obviously convicted and he was jailed for currency abuse. He faced legal battles with the EFCC and also immigration. Remember when he was trying to run away? So Bobrisky might not necessarily be begging for lawsuits, but his moves or her moves has been attracting lawsuits. Speed Darlington has been arrested for defamation against Burna Boy. You remember that? And he spent time. He spent all of last Christmas in Kuje prison. So that's another person. I don't know if it's Kuje prison, but some kind of prison. All right. Then the fourth of them, Portable ZAZU, is right dead in the middle of. He actually was declared wanted a few days ago, and he surrendered to the police. And I think he's on $20 million bail right now. Naira, not dollars. Naira bail rate at the moment. Okay, he was arrested for assaulting government officials. Okay, so the number one similarities among this is why I keep telling you, these are the same guys. These are the same guys. Frequent legal troubles. Okay, let's get into number two. Number 2 of 10 similarities. Hi, Abby. How you doing? Abby say bicycle. I don't remember. Talking drum. Thank you. Talking drum. Something like that. I just knew it was something like that. Okay. Talking drum management. You know. Welcome. Good morning. It's past 1 a.m. here. Hey, I guess you're in UK somewhere. All right. So controversial. They are obviously controversial public figures. That's the second similarity. All 4 of them, they thrive on controversy. Controversy in of itself is not a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword. It can cut both ways. I can only hope that you know what you're doing. That's why I don't judge. Like, it's going to become this. It's going to be great. Oh, they're just jealous of VDM. I'll just laugh because you don't know what I'm paying attention to when I look at a VDM. I don't know him. It's never personal. Okay, I can give my own opinion, but I can also tell you that it's really not that deep, right? So he and the rest of the he's, they thrive on controversy. They gain a lot of attention from that, you know. And how? Because they have all this provocative, enticing, inciting, right, entertaining social media posts. And usually it's about some kind of public feud. They pick targets. They literally, not all of them, but VDM as probably the biggest one right now amongst them. He picks targets and he bullies them all the way to the ground. And is it fair? Well, if you're a public figure, it's fair. Go to court if you don't like it. Okay? Go to court if you don't like it. That's what he wants. Okay? If you're not a public figure, if you're a private person, it is not fair. This girl, Jojo Fiele, what do they call her, right? If I sit here and I say it is not fair, and Jojo Fiele is now becoming friends with, and they're taking pictures today, what do I look like, right? And they're now taking pictures, and she's so happy to be hanging out with, even though VERYDARKMAN was ousting her and her private life, potentially her private life, just a few days ago. I'm not in this street to defend strangers. I just don't do that. That's why you notice that I move very carefully when it comes to taking sides with anything. I don't have any sides. If I don't know you personally, I don't have any sides. If I don't get paid as a professional to defend the public, I don't have any sides. But I can look at it, I can observe it. I don't need both sides. I can already see 50 sides. Once I see one side, I can already see 50 sides. I don't need both sides to create an opinion. My opinion are just that. Everybody have one. It's just like the asshole. Okay. So, but people tend to appreciate it, and I like it too. It feels good that people can relate and they can say, hey, and not everybody appreciates it. I can also respect that, you know. So controversial public figures, controversy. This is what I say about controversy. Don't manufacture controversy out of thin air. I mean, you can. There are people that can orchestrate something, but make sure that it's something you can back up. Maybe it's coming from an opinion. Maybe you have a controversial opinion. That's perfectly fine, you know, as long as it's your opinion and you're willing to back it up. Sometimes it might be an opinion that's strong enough you're willing to go to jail for it. It's okay. That's fine. We have the people like Showore out there. He's been picked up quite a few times by DSS. I think recently again, right? But to me, Showore looks more authentic. He believes, I don't believe in his strategy, but he believes in what he's saying. I can tell that he's not just faking it. Okay? But I can tell that VERYDARKMAN, someone like VERYDARKMAN will go behind the scenes and they kick sometimes. And the day he gets picked up, I don't think he necessarily knows how deep he can go if you get picked up and you're being tortured. I don't think he necessarily knows what that looks like. I think Showore knows what it looks like, and Showore doesn't just create nothing. Sometimes it seems that way, but not so much, you know. So, and you can look at his track record. It goes as far back as 30 years. You can't just start thinking you know all the negatives of cooking controversies in 3 years. You don't know anything about life. So that's why I always say to people like VERYDARKMAN, all these guys are like 30, 35 years old. I say, I hope you know what you're doing, because the powers that be that you're playing with, you're not becoming their target. I hope you know what you are doing. That's all I can say about that, you know. But the number third similarity is their strong social media presence. Every business would love to have a healthy social media presence. Every YouTube channel would love to have, because the more audience, the better, you know. It's just that's also a double-edged sword. Like, for example, if the algorithms was on our side today, just the fact that you use VERYDARKMAN in the title can literally attract a bunch of weirdos. Right? So when that happens, you better be ready or prepared to handle that, right? So it's not all audiences that you need. It's not all attention that is useful for you, but attention, everything else being equal, is a good thing in business, right? So we know that these four people, BOBRISKY, Portable, VDM, Akwi, we know that whatever they're doing attracts and has a very strong social media audience. If they cough, people are watching. But you know, Yoruba people, so so be careful what kind of way you attract with the kind of audience, because there's a young person in Nigeria right now that's like, let me go and put on a dress too, let me act stupid too, maybe let me do something stupid. And it's like, okay, sure. I just hope you know what you are doing. So VDM, because again, your reputation is on the line, and while it looks good, you might get some attention, you might even get some money. But what is that going to become long term? Are you prepared for that? Did you think about it at all? Abi, you're like, we'll deal with it when we get there. Okay, sure, it's fine. You know, in social media, they say, do what works for you. I said, me too. Yes, I say the same thing. Go and do what works. If it's working, the way I say that is that if it's working for you, keep doing it. Okay, I know they argue. All right, so VDM, BOBRISKY, Speed Darlington, Portable all use social media as their battleground, whether for activism, okay, activism, let's just call it that, self-promotion, or probably what it is for all four of them, cloud chasing. Okay, BOBRISKY and VDM, they've been at the center of obviously multiple online fields, right? And then Speed Darlington and Portable, they use social media to air grievances. If they are mad at the company or something like that, including probably VDM, probably doing it for other people, right? They run to the internet and they don't care about defamation. What do? They just want to call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. And they might use it to respond to critics. So they also tend to not like what they dish out. If you attack them, they will attack you double down. And if they have a healthy community, kind of like VDM, I think VDM has a healthy size community. BOBRISKY not so much, but people just, I guess people just watch for watching. But there might be people that follow him too. Portable, for sure, and purely entertainment, cruise, but obviously it's dangerous for him. Hopefully he's learning at this moment. And Speed Darlington, yeah, all four of them are clowns in my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. That has nothing to do with what we're learning today. Just know that controversy can create money, okay? But if all you have is controversy, it's probably short-term money. Okay, number 4. Let's go to the number 4th similarity. Abby says VDM thinks it's by Mozu. Yeah. My wife always say that. Like, she would just, if I said Gidigba, she would like, you need keys. Number 4. 4 of 10 similarities between these 4 people: VERYDARKMAN, BOBRISKY, Portable, and Akpi, Speed Darlington, right? They're bold, unapologetic personalities. Okay, is it intentional? Is it orchestrated? I'll let you be the judge of that. Okay, but the reality is that the personas, the personalities, they're bold and they don't apologize. I think the first time we saw VDM apologize was to Jojo Fiele last week. And honestly, I think that apology was just to spite, to bully Nedu even further. I think that's what it was more about. What you got? If you think it was more about bullying, put a 1 in the chat. If you think it was more authentic an apology, put a 2 in the chat. So all 4 of them, they exhibit fearless, unfiltered, and sometimes reckless behavior, speaking without fear of consequences, right? I don't think without so without fear of consequences is fine, but without assessing if there's consequences at all is dangerous, because you literally can carry other people along in whatever your consequences are. It can hurt other people, it can hurt your family, obviously. Then also, Speed Darlington and Portable, they are known for their wild outbursts to just get on the internet and baby oil. It's still trolling. I think it's still trolling Burna Boy till today, you know. And you might say, well, in Nigeria it can be picked up. Well, actually you can hurt yourself anywhere if you don't know what you're doing. Even in the USA, in the Western world, in UK, you can still hurt yourself. I just hope you know what you are doing. The sad part is that when you hurt yourself, you might end up hurting other people as well. All right. So VDM and BOBRISKY, their own style is basically maybe more like VDM. They challenge societal norms. Whatever you call normal today, forget that thing. And people fantasize. The reason why people can relate with that is that sometimes they wish it was them that was bold enough to do that. Okay, so either from a standpoint of entertainment value or just sentimental value, they tag onto that, they become a part of the community, the rat tail, right? So that's why that's working the way it's working. They're bold, unapologetic. Is it intentional? We don't know. Only time will tell us. I'm not even out to say 1. Yeah, he was just using it to hurt Nedu more. He was bullying Nedu. That's just another. So I personally believe that VDM only does good for his own sentimental benefits. Okay, sentimental benefit, which is fine as long if other people benefit from it. That's also good. But when he flips and is just dragging people on the internet, you can see that that's the major reason. So if he's put in a position where he has to pick between dragging an enemy today or doing good, he would choose dragging an enemy. Listen to me. If VERYDARKMAN was put in a position to choose between dragging an enemy today or a perceived enemy today and actually doing a good for somebody, I think he would choose dragging an enemy. I can hear the writer say, but let's just appreciate the good he does. At least. Okay, yes, you're right. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's appreciate the good.
You're right.
All right, welcome, Miss CEE. All right, so let's move on to number 5. Number 5, similarity between all this 5 coconut heads: VERYDARKMAN, Portable, BOBRISKY, Akpi, Speed Darlington. Legal drama leading to increased popularity. Okay, increased popularity, kind of similar to social media presence, but let me dive in a little bit deeper into this and tell you what I mean. Each arrest or controversy, literally, okay, we can't get mad at how these things work. It's just how it works. Okay, they literally lead to more social media engagements, not just presence now, as in engagement. As like if they born your papa, will go inside a VERYDARKMAN channel right now, go under the comment and leave a comment that antagonize, that doesn't say VDM is the Lord of Lords button. I dare you, go and do it right now. If they won't drag you, they will drag you, right? And you might say, I don't care, but I don't have time for that. I really don't have time for that. Okay, I don't have time to get notifications from widows. So but maybe you don't care, but I'm just letting you know that's how powerful the engagement. Every business's dream, they will buy somebody for that level of engagement. Okay, but also, what do we know about this kind of engagement? They are dangerous. They tend to be short term, because the same people that are rooting for you, they want, when they decide to drag you, they drag you at the same level. It's like that same in-love experience, that same magnitude of in-love experience that somebody has for their husband in the first 2 years or the first 2 days that they met. That's constant in the head, like, I'm just so in love with this person, I'm crazy, obsessed. That same level, that magnitude is how they will hate you once they find out that you're a normal human being and you have flaws, and you can disappoint them or betray them or betray their trust. That same magnitude, right? But of course, if you're too young, you don't realize. Someone like Showore will know this because he's seen it. He see people flake on him on a couple of times. He's seen the patterns. So the only reason why he can keep doing what he's doing is because the reason why he's doing it is deeply rooted beyond just, I want to look good in front of the rattle, right? Anything that won't look good in front of the rattle, Very Dark Man still cares. He won't do it. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? It's both, right? So their legal troubles, they don't seem to deter their fan base, but instead they feel the notoriety. So arguing with the Rattles or the Bobriskians, it's like arguing with your destiny. You have to explain to me why it's worth your time, if it's ever worth your time. Okay. All right, so let's move on to number 6. Number 6, what do we have on number 6? Number 6, feud with other celebrities and authorities. They pick enemies. All right, they randomly pick enemies. This is a strategy. Okay, this it's a strategy. I don't know if they're actually being intentional about that, right? But it's a strategy. Okay, and it can be used for good and both bad. Does that make sense? It can be used for both good and bad. So if it ends up in the wrong hands, it's dangerous. That's why someone like Very Dark Man is a very dangerous person. Not necessarily dangerous to us as individuals, but dangerous for the society, because that's why the police will pay attention to everything he says. They might invite him if he says something stupid, because they don't want a situation that will create unrest in society. Why? Because he's an influential human being. Okay? He's an influential human being. Is that making sense? Are we making sense? So VDM has called out celebrities, other celebrities, more recently, obviously. Nedu called out Tonto Dike, Iyabo Ojo. If it's a strategy for him, it might be. I think it might be a strategy for him at this point. Has he really assessed the downside of doing that or the dangers? I don't think so. I don't think he cares. I think, see, the attention is getting is like a drug. It's like drug, right? So how do I know? Because I've been there. Like, if you're too young and you get a certain level of success, something in your head, there's no room to really assess the downside. Like, you're like, it's gonna, as far as how you feel, it's always gonna be like this. I'm the king. That's all I've known. But if you've built, crash and burnt a few times, there's a certain level of humility that comes naturally, right? It just comes. And you probably will, even if it's really who you are, you'll be a lot more guided when you're moving, right? So that's something to pay attention to. Again, all of this is about, if you want to use any one of this to push your own mission, purpose in life forward, I just hope you know what you're doing. I would assess both ends. Nothing is absolutely good or bad. Okay, none of this. I made sure that none of this is about good or bad. So feuding with public personas, like people like the Falanos, just targeting and picking on them and bullying them, I think it's fair because they have the resources. They can go to court. Okay, now if you don't, if it's actually unfair, the court will get to decide on that, right? but they have the resources to go to. If they're just picking on innocent people, just bringing them and just saying, this one slept with this one, then, obviously that's not good. And the sad reality is that they might even be able to get away with that in Nigeria if it's spicy enough. There's a lot of people on TikTok right now that eventually they will start getting picked up. Yes. They think they can just say allegedly and get away with nonsense. Yeah, just mark my words. Allegedly is going to be a curse word a few years from now, okay? All right. So, BOBRISKY obviously has also had feuds even with VERYDARKMAN. Speed Darlington, obviously, presently with Burna Boy. I think the case might even still be in court. I'm not really following it. And then Portable with VERYDARKMAN. Portable has had feud with Davido publicly. Do you think Portable was being strategic when he decided to tackle Davido after they didn't want him at some kind of party, or they took a distance from him? Do you think he was being strategic? No, he was angry. And anger is dangerous, right? But did he get some attention from that? Yes. Did he get some more engagement on his social media? Yes. So none of this is absolutely just something I want you to pay attention to when it comes to how life works. That's really I want you to understand how life works. It's not about being life, especially when it's a public matter. That fairness thing, forget it. When people are angry, when people are hurt, all this sense of morality, they go out the window. I don't care how moral you think you are. All this sense of morality, doing all the right, they go out the window when people are caught up in their emotions. Okay? So, and what is media is full of human emotions. That's just all that is. That's why you see people going crazy, calling people's papas out on social media and stuff like that. And obviously the fact that they could hide behind a keyboard, they become a keyboard gangster, right? So something to pay attention to. Let's go to number 7. Number 7th, reality. Legal battles with defamation accusations, right? So defamation, right? There's still a lot of debate around defamation, libel, and things like that, right? But we know that VDM and Speed Darlington, they've been arrested for defamation. BOBRISKY faced accusations linked to leaked audio. Remember the AI audio? It wasn't really BOBRISKY, but kind of BOBRISKY. But I think BOBRISKY actually probably has active case in court with the Falanas, because the Falanas are not having it. They sued VERYDARKMAN. I think they sued BOBRISKY as well. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. Defamation is a real thing. You're going to see more of it, especially in this social media age, especially with so much money attached to double tap, pop my money gun, right? Yeah, you're going to see more and more people get in trouble because they, especially if you have someone like Pella does not really understand the full ramification of what it means to be making $30,000 a day. There's no way he could know. Oh, how come you didn't ask questions about this before you get into it? Does that sound familiar? How come you didn't ask all the right questions before you get into a marriage? Does that sound familiar? Exactly. You, even if I told you the questions to ask, you couldn't comprehend it. You wouldn't know until you've experienced it. So, should Pella have the success he's having right now? Yeah. You know, he's gonna face his own journey. He's gonna learn the hard way, right? All right. So, what else here? Obviously, Portable's carelessness also that kind of fall into that category, but nothing really about defamation. Portable is just stupid. He has too much on his hands. He has too much attention. He has too much clout, influence over the streets, and he had the audacity to be having the boys in the street. He had a firearm on him in the streets. Why does he have a firearm in the street? Maybe to protect himself. Does he know how to just stick with protecting himself, or he might use it to bully people that he didn't know they were government officials? Oh, there you go. There's, when you get so much attention, success is a crazy thing. Success is a drug. So that's why I say humility is a weapon. It's actually a weapon of goodness, if you know what you're doing. But sometimes it sounds kumbaya. It sounds like you're preaching, like, I better get out of this place with that humility nonsense. Yeah, Okay, sure. I will get out of it. Number 8, similarity, public perception as victims of oppression. People follow them because sometimes they are kind of like the underdog, right? People see them as the underdog of society. To some extent, some of them, to a large extent, some of them, right? So all 4 of them, they portray themselves as underdogs, right? Fighting against the system. It is a good strategy if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you will tell on yourself eventually. Your true colors will show forth. If you are a narcissist, it will show eventually. If you are, what's the word I'm looking for, right? If what you're really practicing is tyranny, it might take time, but you'll find. If you're a true dictator, it might take some time before your followers realize that, can't you have opinion too? Like, opinion, you can't have opinion, forget that thing. I'm the rat tail gang leader. You want to have opinion? I'll be your papani. Did you hear that audio of Very Dark Man with Little Smart? Is that his name? Little Smart, what, the kid that was accusing Naramali recently? Yeah, that was the true color of Very Dark Man. See, he didn't know it was being recorded. He wasn't putting on any kind of performance, right? So, but with time, in due time, people's true colors will show. Then obviously BOBRISKY also, he alleges unfair treatment due to being a transgender. I think it's not a matter of allegation. I think we know that's a real thing, especially in Nigeria as a society. So I'm not even sure, did he move to London or to somewhere or not? I'm not sure what that is. I know he was trying to run away through Kutonu at one time like that. And then above all, the biggest of them in this category is VDM, who presents himself as a victim of the corrupt elite. Okay, so I don't know if you see that he's sitting in a nice red car seat recently. But at this point, you know, the people that are following him, die hard, they don't care. In fact, if you mention it too much, they will call you jealous. Shout out to him, congratulations to him, and I hope he knows what he's doing. All right, so let's move on to number 9. Number 9. Okay. Number 9 is repeated run-ins with law enforcement. Repeated run-ins with law enforcement is another similarity in these 4 people's story, right? Each one of them have been arrested, detained, declared wanted at some point, and you know, anything that looked like Jesus / fella, Nigerian people, of course, Nigerian people will eat it up. Indomie, like, that's our hero, right? So that's another reason. Shout out to Unique. Unique says Bob is seeking asylum in the Netherlands. Oh, interesting. Good for him or her. All right, so that's number 9, repeated runs in with law. Let's just go ahead. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I have a few more things to. Number 10, maintaining relevance despite scandals, right? So it seems very sustainable, right? But how long have they been around for real? Let's do the math, right? How long have they been around? So we can't really tell. If it's anything less than 5 years, we can't really tell. Less than 10 years, yeah, only time will tell, you know. But we have the likes of I don't think we can compare the Uncle Charlie, what's his name, area boy number 1, what's his name, the Uncle Charlie now, Charlie boy, who is now like 73 or 75 years old, right? He was the king, right, of controversy, but it was mainly his looks, right? He was doing activism, but he was also doing activism in Nigeria in a way that they still collect money from government and stuff like that. If you remember, he had a feud with Deji Adeyanju, who is now VDM's lawyer. At one point, because Deji Adeyanju called him out and said, "Hey, you collected some money," right? So, and you know, everybody's activism get level. Some people are activists that say, you have a few couple of $100 bills for me there. Okay, Baba. Yeah, toilet, you know. Okay, Baba, keep on rocking, right? And some people are like, no, Showora is like, no, I will never, ever collaborate with these people, ever. Right? And some people say, Papa, calm down. Dear, we have to use wisdom in these kind of things. Listen, all of that, it is what it is. Okay? But what we know about these 4 coconut heads, VDM, VERYDARKMAN, Portable, Akwi, and BOBRISKY, is that they don't shy away from controversy. I actually think it's a drug for them at this point in time. I think they don't know the difference between if it's good or bad. I think they strongly believe that all publicities are good publicities. Yeah. The problem is that sometimes consistent publicity in a way that it makes you feel invisible, you know. And there's no such thing. Everything that starts will end. Everything that has a beginning will have an end. And so let's just go ahead and just be a worry everywhere. But maybe you don't have to disappear too quick. Maybe you can actually do some good for a longer term than just 3 years because you're being stupid, right? Maybe there's actually, you can still leverage the clout you've built up to now and actually have some strategy and then refine based on the level of clout and attention you're getting right now. Maybe you can actually talk to, you know, I actually saw that people were actually trying to shame Nedu earlier on for having a PR speak for him. That is actually a very wise thing to do. Everything else is stupid. Okay, that's actually a very wise thing to do. Everything else being equal is stupid. And he actually said a few things here and there, you know. But to like, say with your full chest, no, that's, you're only telling me that you're a stupid person if that's what you said. Okay, because it's much more than just speaking the truth, calling a spade a spade. It's definitely more than that. All right, so those are the 10 similarities right there. But I also want to talk about the similarities based on their approach to our framework here, which is self-power, social, seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence, right? I also want us to address it so that how do you apply this in real life? I want to say shout out to our newest member, Unique. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here and being a part of the Prestige family. You want to join the Prestige family? I think we have it as low as $1, maybe $1.99 to become a member. All you have to do is click join on the channel and you can be a part of it. And I want to take this opportunity to do a quick shout out to our legacy sponsors and members in Prestige family. I want to say shout out to all of you. Okay, thank you for always being supporter of this platform. I appreciate you. And those of you that are here like Natu, thank you. All right, so yes, so I want to talk about how the similarities based on their approach to self-management, based off of what we can see. You know, we don't know these people personally, so for all I know, VERYDARKMAN could be in a room drawing cardboard and say, this is the person I want to attack, and it might be a whole strategy around him. I have a godfather somewhere, I don't know, but I'm just going to go based off of what we can see in their public persona. Right, so the first one here is self-management. Right, what we've seen is that they seem impulsive, reactionary, and they seem like they literally make rash decisions. Okay, as long as it looks like it's going to satisfy them from a standpoint of getting more clout, they go for it. Okay, you will see them often reacting to criticism publicly, right? The things that you can address, things like exposing private DMs, right? And you know, if you think they respond to everything because they want to speak truth to truth, you're lying. VERYDARKMAN does not respond to everything. Okay, he picks and chooses. What do you think the criteria is picking and choose based on? And the same thing goes for all 4 of them at this point, because they have the attention, right? So impulsive. When it comes to self-management, you will notice certain sense of impulsive and reactionary behavior. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, these are also self-destructive behavior. Okay, you see them frequently getting into legal troubles. There's nobody in their right senses looking for legal troubles, right? But it can be strategic. You can be like, okay, I'll be in jail for 3 months, but then I will have 300,000 followers. What does that mean in dollars? You're making currency in foreign currency. What does that mean? Is that smart? Is that wise? I don't know. It depends on their overall picture, what's going on with them, you know. But don't be surprised if they do things like that. Just don't be surprised. But it can only last for so long. That's all I can tell you. I can tell you that for a fact, that it can only last for so long. If it's not adding value to society on a long-term basis, it can only last for so long. Okay. And then obviously, their brand is controversy, right? Oh, very dark man dug a borehole somewhere. Baba, stop the cap. The brand is purely controversy. Okay, it's controversy. Jum, how far now? Jum, how you did? I didn't see when you enter. All right. Their brand is purely controversy. What we're talking about? We're talking about their approach to self-management from what we can see from the public. Okay, so branding through controversy, each one of them, they thrive on controversy as a means of staying relevant and growing their audiences, and that means money. Don't get it twisted. So, oh, Very Dark Man took 20 million to go and do deposit on Range Rover. I don't necessarily believe that. I think Very Dark Man has enough clout to get him enough money to deposit on the Range Rover if he wants to. Okay, just simply knowing the math and what this attention can be worth, right? So the second one I want to talk about is power, right? Power. Most people, do you talk about relationships or marriage? Like, no, I just talk about power. Okay, that's why I tell you, stop giving your power away by crying like a victim. Okay, if you're a victim, you're a victim. I don't want you to keep playing the victim. I want to show you your power. Okay. So, but how does these four people, Coconut said, how do they handle power, right? Well, we can see them define authority, right? Is it right or wrong? It doesn't matter. Authority, challenging authority, society norms, that is a real thing, okay? I just hope you know what you're doing, because you can self-destruct, remember? Challenging government regulations and literally powerful government agencies and institutions like EFCC, the police, you know, calling out commissioner of police, which I said, Davido, what are you doing? Do you know what you're doing? Davido, remember when Davido was walking on, was it around the October 10th of October 2020? Remember that thing, the toll gate thing, right? Davido was walking and it was like, and you can see his chest beating out of his chest, like, Baba, go back home, you're a body child, go back home. And you're not from the streets either, and you're not from the streets of Atlanta, right? So, but you can see that Very Dark Man does that pretty well. Hope he knows what he's doing. Akwi is trying to do that. He's probably trying to cook a strategy around that. I hope he knows what he's doing. I think it's dangerous game. All right. Bobrisky is not interested. Bobrisky will buy his way. He will use money and just being able to dress like a woman. He will use whatever he wants, you know. So you get the gist, right? But define authority is something common to the three, Portable, Akwi, and VDM. Not so much. I think Bobrisky is a little like, yeah, I don't know. Like, Bobrisky is not sitting on the internet calling out policeman. Maybe calling out Tonto DK, maybe dragging Tunde Not, but not the police. I don't think so. All right. Then when it comes to power, you will notice a cult-like fan base, right? They've built a cult-like fan base. They have their diehard supporters, and these people will defend them fiercely online. And that obviously reinforces the public persona. That's a powerful thing. That's power. Okay. Now, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Power is neither good nor bad. You can use your own power to destroy yourself. Okay. So we're not saying that power is just absolutely a good thing. We're saying it's a good thing when you know what you're doing. Okay. So that's why you don't want to give young people unnecessary levels of power. They don't know what they're dealing with. They're going to get drunk off of it. It's just dangerous. And then as far as power, you have the victim turned a god strategy. You're a victim and now you are now the hero. It's a strategy, okay? And you can actually literally tell a story in a way that people buy into and they join a gang just like that. Okay, people like, I will never be a part of a gang. Wait until you have a need that's strong enough. Sometimes people do it because they want to protect themselves. That's why I say that judgmental thing, get off the pedestal, you will fall off all the time. Okay, just step back if you don't like it and observe and learn. Don't just sit on a high horse and be judging people because you think you're morally better than them. You are probably not completely aware of how life works. Okay, if you're a judgmental person, you're generally not aware of how life works. Okay, it might be a difficult thing, it might just be your mindset that and if you don't hit rock bottom, you might never listen. So you can see that they position themselves as victims of oppression, which further amplifies their influence and it attracts sympathizers. Okay, if you look at that title, it looks like, oh, I'm going to come here and drag all of them. No, there's no need for that. I think they will, the way I'm saying it, they will self-sabotage. They don't need my help. But I'm telling you, there's some things you can observe with this 4 that we can learn, and you can use it in your business. If you have a local business, you can literally build a loyalty fan base, people, and you can use that using discounts. You can use that using reward programs. Who do you know that do that? Hotels, right? Loyalty programs, right? Loyalty programs, airlines, right? Even Expedias, they all have loyalty thing, and they use little things here. Who does that the best? Your iPhone, Apple products, right? Once you enter, it's hard to get out. How did they do that? Anyway, so these are very, very useful strategies that you can, if you have it's not good enough that you think you have value, that you have something you can help somebody. You need to be able to build a community around that. You need to be able to build a loyal fan base, because it creates a glue that just makes it get bigger and bigger in a sustainable way. It's not sustainable if that's all you have. If all you have is controversies, it's not sustainable. If all you have is value, I'm just really good at this thing I do, it's also not good enough. You kind of need both, right? You need both. Value, you can actually help people create a transformation, but you also know how to create a community around it. Yes, so very, very, very big deal. All right, so the when it comes to this third part of this, social dynamics, social intelligence, things like that, the exaggerated self-importance, right? They all present themselves as larger than life figures. They don't directly say it, they tap into people's pain, right? They tap into something that people can relate with. It might also be in the form of entertainment sometimes. Like, for example, Portable, I think, is majorly skewed towards entertainment, but it's relatable to see a Portable just jump on the internet and just be stupid, and then it turns it to a song. And then it's just stupid, and then in a weird, twisted way, is the stupidity that we would like to have. We don't want to be stupid, but we want to have the freedom at that level to just be whatever we want to be, right? So it's a subconscious thing. So you might not be able to admit that I want to be a Portable. Of course, I'm not expecting you to admit that. But someone said, to feel aqua, that's not me. I would never be a Portable. Okay, Portable. Then obviously, again, the clash with the institutions, right? All this kind of stuff. They all, to an extent, they may understand, because again, social dynamics, just think social media, right? The ability to do things that create engagement, right? Now, is it good the way they're doing it for long term? I'm not sure, but we're still discovering all of this. So I don't know if they will be around for 20 years. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But you never know. There's new things being presented to us every day, and we're like, wait, that's actually a new thing. We've never seen that before. And part of that is the unapologetic persona, right? People can relate. Once people, like, you go through your page and they scroll through and they scroll back and they say, That right there is all it takes to win on social media. If you can do that over and over enough times, yes, you will create engagement. And that's what they've successfully done, all four of them. Okay. The fourth thing is the seduction and the attraction part of things here. Seduction, attraction, they are neither good nor bad. You can use it for evil, you can use it for bad. It just depends on who is learning the skills. Hopefully you don't use it for bad. Okay, but we're talking about the charismatic manipulation here, right? There is an active manipulation thing going on, but people think manipulation is always intentional. Not necessarily, but just think of charismatic manipulation. They know how to draw people in, whether through some humor, right? He will say serious, his red, eyes will be red. Sort of like at the end, he'll be like, you're gonna learn. Else, you're gonna learn. Don't play. Else, you're gonna learn. Like he had like a little guy to, all right, right? That those things right there, number one, branding, number consistency, right? Like it's weird, right? But that's what works, right? So you might look at your brand, your business, what you present, or what you're looking to use to add value to the world. Do people get bored? Right? If they get bored, like for example, this platform here is obvious they get bored, right? But is that my goals? Maybe not, right? But if people get bored, they will leave. It's just what it is, right? So if you have your goals properly outlined, or if you know what your goals are, you focus on your goals because you just know what you're chasing after. But if you're chasing after audience and you want to attract a certain person, you need to know that every human being will leave you if they get bored. Well, that's what's wrong with this new society. How can women leave their marriage just because they're bored? Baba, you're arguing with your destiny. If she's bored, she will leave you. And the problem is that she won't be able to admit to you that she's bored. If she looks around her long enough, she will find a good tangible reason to say, okay, maybe your breath smell, or maybe you're a bad father, you never help me, you don't wash plates in the sink with me every Saturday. She will say something stupid that is not really, she's just bored. Because if she's not bored, she will let you get away with everything. Bad behaviors, yes, she will. Okay, so, but what about things of character value, Baba? Entertainment is value. Okay, I don't know where you guys learn all this stuff from, but entertainment is valuable. If they are bored, they will leave you. Ladies, same thing goes for you. If he's bored, he will leave you. Is it your fault? I didn't say it's anybody's fault. I'm just telling you how life works. Okay, Eunice, VDM is my favorite amongst the listed. I admire his humanitarian advocacy spirit, also his ability to call out injustice. Okay, there you go. That's the value she gets from, I don't know if are you a he or she unique? I don't know if that's the value that this person gets from that's the value they're getting. And sometimes just that little piece is the value you're getting from it, right? Portable is a self-inflicted and public nuisance. He needs a dictator. Wahala. I like Akwi is an instigator with no real self-defense mechanism. Wahala. Barrier to entry equals to value, equals to sustainable, innovative approaches, equals to strong brand creation. Thank you for that. Initiate a catchy slogan for your brand. Yep. So, all right, else you're going to learn. That sometimes make me feel like all of it is all intentional. Like, okay, this person knows what they're doing to an extent. Okay. So let's see. So we're on seduction and attraction at this point, right? Seduction and attraction. So mystery and the shock flavor, right? You can call it shock flavor, or you can call it the shock factor, like that, right? So I can literally go into my YouTube data studio and I see what thumbnails actually got people here more, right? But that's just one factor. You have to also be able to engage them longer than the first 30 seconds. This is true for all businesses. This is true for all relationships. It's a concept that you need to learn. It's all part of seduction and attraction. Okay, so the sense of mystery, everybody likes newness. Okay, again, it's relating back to the boredom thing, right? Everybody likes a sense of newness. So ladies, the same goddamn hairstyle all the time. Oh, he just like anything in dress. No, calm down, relax. Okay, he might be that, but before you go into that direction, Let's first of all make sure that you're not boring. I didn't say it's your fault. I'm just saying that maybe there's some additional ways you can bring value to the table. No, I'm not just dragging it out to the station. I want you to understand. Maybe there is some gap. Maybe there's some opportunity. In business, they call it gap analysis, assessment. Done some assessment like, what is it that, okay, now, I don't expect if somebody cheated on you that you are able to now sit down there and start doing that. I don't expect. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, before something crazy like that happens to you and then you find out all of a sudden that you're like normal human being like the rest of us, right? Maybe that's an ongoing assessment you should always do in any form of relationship you find yourself, business, personal, right? Politics. Understand that there is a gap. There's like an accordion thing that's always, there's a dance that's always going on, right? If you get complacent and you are sleeping also, like for example, if I don't come here for 2 weeks, I could tell in my numbers. The reason why our numbers are low right now is because I haven't been consistent. That's one of the reasons. So that time that I didn't show up here, do I expect that people are just sitting around and just waiting for Man of Prestige to come back? No, I don't expect it, right? I expect that while we're not here, they're engaging other channels. If they're engaged, I'm talking about you guys behind your back. You're engaging other channels. If you're engaging other channels, in that time, right, the algorithms is going to be registering it as you're engaging that. They're going to show you more of those channels. So even now that I'm here right now, there could be prestige families on the internet, but there's only so much space in people's feeds. So there's an active competition going on at all times is the point I'm making here. Okay? But how do you break through all that noise? How do you break through all this competition? You better have some ginger. That's what mystery is, like mystery, shock factor. You need some kind of ginger, okay? You need to be unpredictable. If I can just tell that you're going to lie your big ass belly up and be watching that same TV at 5 p.m. every day of the week, you're not doing any crime, but Baba, this, oh auntie, right? That's boring, and that can create, that can be a complacency. You're not paying attention, and attention is money, okay? And I mean money in every sense, as in value, okay? So they know how to keep audiences engaged, and people know what to expect from them, but they know to expect the unexpected from them. Somewhat predictable, but not exactly. You just never know what's about to happen, right? So that's key. Another thing here that we can pay attention to here is maybe the BOBRISKY sexual thing going on. Anything sexual, it is what it is, okay? Anything sexual gets people's attention. So you might say, oh, that's just gender, that's just what. No, the gender transformation is either you like it or you hate it. It's one of the two. That is a big deal. That gets attention. The people are curious, okay? Then also VDM is also, VDM plays the truth teller, activist, right? People are, there's one, if there's one thing that people are hungry for, is the truth. That's why you see an average person, before they say like, I'm just telling the truth, even though it's a subconscious statement that just blab out of their mouth. They're not telling no truth, they're liars, all of them. But it's subconscious, they just say it out. So it just comes out of their mouth. I'm just telling the truth. What do you mean truth? I'm just saying that they're not talking about that is absolute truth, but they're telling you what they consider to be truth. They're trying to sell you an idea. They're trying to land a point, right? That's what that is, right? So, and there are many words. There are many sentence structures that are like that, right? That you just have to know to read. But they also can be very seductive, and you see us do it in the middle of arguments and stuff like that. But you also see Speed Darlington, Portable, they you know, that raw street energy thing. Everybody wants to be street. Have you noticed? Nobody wants to be a Efiko. The Efiko does not want to be a Efiko. The Efiko would like to think that they're cool enough to be street. That is a seductive thing. Listen to me carefully. Okay, no, but Ola, I never want to be street. That's right. No, you're not listening to me. If you don't want to be street, you want to be cool, right? Think about what it means for someone to say I'm street. or I'm cool. It doesn't mean cold water. It just means you can, everybody wants to be, everybody wants a sense of belonging. That's the point. Okay, and that's what I mean by a raw street energy. Okay, so they might make outrageous claims sometimes, but you will see that it's designed to say, oh no, you want to be a part of what we're doing here, we're the coolest, right? It's the same thing that you get when people give it a name, like they say Rat Tail Gang, or so we say Prestige Family, right? Same thing. Okay, all right, so now let's dive into the fifth part of the framework here, which is emotional intelligence, right? If you notice, I don't just say they're not emotional intelligent, right? I can't say a person is not emotionally intelligent or they are. What I always say here is that I'm a student of emotional intelligence. It's a moving target, right? So I pay attention to certain little things, right? So I can learn from it, so I can keep working on my emotional intelligence, right? So a person is just emotionally intelligent. Now you can give people that, you can say this guy is emotionally intelligent. I'm just telling you that it's not really a real reality because it's a moving target. We have to remain a student of that because human beings are evolving. Our way of expressing emotions are evolving. Our way of interpreting emotions and responding to emotions are evolving. So you cannot afford to exit the status of being a student of. I can't personally. That's how I look at it. Okay, but if you look at the way these guys move, just their moves. So remember, I'm not saying they're emotionally intelligent, but there are some moves here that you can borrow, and it can become emotional intelligence for you, right? They use their personal struggles. Real or exaggerated is still personal. Remember, they're not measuring how big it is. Is it a big truth? I mean, they lie small, but the bottom line is that it's personal, right? They use that to gain sympathy from the fans. Okay, the sympathy. Okay, so if you notice, a lot of people, like, even if I go back to Unique statement here, Unique is gifting 5 Man of Prestige members. Shout out to you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I am a female, a she. Awesome. That's good. I love females. I don't know if you notice. Let's see here. Even with a VDM is my favorite amongst the listed. I admire his humanitarian and advocacy spirit. Also his ability to call out injustice. Right? There's something personal about you. Like, people might say things like, oh, like I hate oppressors. That's a personal state. There's nobody that have never experienced oppressors that hate oppressors. In fact, if you see some people that have never experienced oppressors, they are telling you that stop being a victim. They might come off as how do I say it? What's the word I'm looking for? They'll come off as they are judging you, or they can't relate with your struggles, right? And you might even find what they say disrespectful because they are minimizing your experiences, right? Exactly. So something that all of them do, at least in the form of personas, is that it's something personal, right? James Brown, you remember James Brown? I haven't really seen him. I don't follow him, but normally I'll see them in my feed because the social media feed don't just wait for you to follow. They will show it to you if enough people follow it, right? So, but if you see that kind of situation, how do they come to the limelight? It's something like almost personal, you know. Maybe they're going through the personal struggle and you're like, this person is a story that's being told at a personal level. Storytelling, personal, right? That's the idea. Okay. Yes, societal hero image approach. Yep, that's all part of it. All right, so again, the emotional is emotional manipulation, and it's working in their favor, at least for now. Okay, they use their personal struggles, real or exaggerated. You might even find out that this guy was lying all along. He was never in the streets. We've seen people do that before. That lie will catch up with them. They will use it to gain sympathy from fans. They will become the hero, right? Then also their inability to filter emotions. All right. So now this is lack of emotional intelligence, right? for the long term, this is only good for long term. For short term, you can still win, okay, because people relate to what they can relate with. But for the long term, you're gonna need to learn how to filter emotions. Some people call it being diplomatic, or you're not forward, or you're not telling us what you feel. It is what it is. But if you understand that there's a lot at stake, then you know to not just move mad, right? So they don't filter emotion, and that's eventually going to lead to self-sabotage. We've seen it lead to legal troubles and unnecessary conflicts, to be frank, okay? So eventually all those things will catch up, and it can literally burn everything up. It can literally destroy and burn everything up, all right? Then the public meltdowns as content, that's not emotionally intelligent. Turning cameras on when you're angry, in your frustration, it's not a good idea for the long term. You might get some clout, but if you look at everybody's, even some of the biggest social media influencer, they will hit the ceiling. Even the Davidos will hit the ceiling, right? How do I know they hit the ceiling? Go and look at the people following Beyonce and Davido. There's a difference. One will hit the ceiling, maybe 20 million or something. Maybe Beyonce is at 100 million. How come everybody's not just for? Because everybody has a ceiling somewhere, right? At that ceiling, that's when your true colors start to show, and time is still going, but you hit a ceiling, right? All right, so all the anger issues, all the legal stuff, you see that catch up with Kanye West, you see that catch up with Andrew Tate. So just because you're getting attention doesn't mean you're invisible. You can literally self-sabotage. But those are all things that you can mitigate with some emotional intelligence. So if I was to rate these 4 guys on emotional intelligence, I'll rate them 1/3. 1/3. The 1 is because they understand how to use their personal struggles or other people's personal struggles to get clout. That is part of emotional intelligence, okay? But the fact the impulse control is terrible, the eyes read terrible, let me just go into my DM and drag somebody's private conversation, that is not very smart, right? And then obviously the public meltdown that you see Akwe do sometimes, or Portable jumping on the internet and then crying because he's running away from police, or coming on the internet begging us to help him beg the police. That's not gonna work, okay? All right, so these are all concepts. They are neither good nor bad. These are things you should just know how life works. Know that either you're a Christian, a Muslim, a traditionalist, all these are principles that guide our beings overall, okay? You're not special. You're not as special as you think. You're probably more special than you think. You're a unique human being, but you need to understand that when you look around you close enough, you can see all these things playing out, okay? All right, so some of the dangers here, there are about 5 dangers that we've kind of mentioned. Again, the legal and financial consequences. There's only so much money you have. You're going to spend all this money on legal fees because you have to pay the Jadeyanju. Do you have enough money to keep paying the Jadeyanju? Can the Jadeyanju get in trouble for representing you? Yes, his reputation can be on the line. Remember, a few weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago? The lawyers that was representing Speedality, they said they're no longer interested. You know, if you keep supporting a certain brand, if you care enough about your brand, you say, I'm no longer interested. So that's already bad. Okay, that's not a good thing, right? There's the social backlash, and then again, reputation damage, and then you have the psychological and emotional toll. You have people that try to play controversies. Sometimes they're dealing with depressions on the low. Their mental health declines, right? Sometimes what we see today is actually a result of pre-existing condition, and all the attention we hide it, but eventually to catch up with them, okay? Then obviously they can lose their sense of identity. If that's not how you're raised, but you're just doing it, you're going hard because it is now a drug for you, eventually it will catch up, okay? So we're talking about things like addiction, self-destruction, two-face, anidibia, exposure. Too much exposure is not good for you. They might get into drugs just to cope. Mental health is key in all of this. I'm talking about the dangers of the lifestyle that these guys are living right now, okay? Attention is not your mate. It's a drug. If you get too much of it too fast, you can crash and burn. That's why you see crash out here and there every time. Number 4 is the short-term popularity, long-term irrelevance. Because anybody can get, not everybody. I want to give them their credit. They're getting short-term popularity. Kudos to them. But it's not good enough, if it's not going to be long-term relevance, like Sonny Ade, right? Like Femi Kuti, right? Like some of the greats that we know that are still relevant even in their death, right? So fame without sustainability is dangerous. It's hard to maintain a career because there are new kids coming on the block every day. They're going to become controversial. Pella got popular off of speaking bad English. Okay, I would say that's safe. Then that's safe. I guess. Hopefully there's nobody that will come that will replace that spot with something else more entertaining. Again, if it's not your mission and purpose in life, if it's not deeply rooted value that you bring to the marketplace, it can only last for so long. Then industry blacklisting is a real kind of like what happened to Kanye West. You get cancelled, that is a big deal. You can move all invisible all you want. If you become a liability for other people, you can disappear overnight. And I don't mean as a person, but that brand can disappear overnight. If you get blacklisted, like you see people getting blocked on social media because their brand is offensive, enough people start flagging your accounts, before you know it, you get demonetized, you disappear. What's the point? What's the purpose, right? I've seen people build 2 million, 3 million followers and the whole platform just overnight gets demonetized. What were they doing? They were being controversial. Think Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, Kanye West. I've seen quite a few of them since I've been on YouTube. They've come and go. They usually don't last longer than 5 years. We've seen even Uncle Pearl. We call her Uncle Pearl, but we talk about Pearl, the girl that was basically pandering to men last year. Everything got demonetized, right? And then last but not least, there is actually actual physical danger. Okay, you keep talking all that smack on the internet, somebody's going to test you. Somebody's going to test that security and your safety. Yeah, somebody's going to test you. All right, somebody is going to test it. Society. James Brown was recently evicted from an event for dress as a woman. Really? You're following them for dressing like a woman. Chidema Afana, how you doing? Yeah, so these things, they look good on the surface right now, but they can only last for so long. There's actual physical danger, I was saying. People are emotional. Human beings, not just women. Human beings are emotional. You keep saying smack and keep saying things, and if you become a liability for the powers that be, they're going to test. Forget that. If you are big enough already, these guys are big enough. There's somebody actively testing the casing around them right now. So, as a matter of fact, VERYDARKMAN should not be moving around the street right now without a bodyguard. He shouldn't. He should have a bodyguard. It's just wise. I saw earlier on, Nedu was saying, oh, he's no longer going to handle his DMs. I was like, before, Uncle, you're Nedu, you're a rock star. You shouldn't be handling your DM. It's too much. You should be focused on what you do best, have other people filter through the noise, and then handle the things that help you continue to build your empire. Nedu should not be going back and forth with VERYDARKMAN. It makes no sense. It's not a matter of I'm bigger than you or anything like that. No, it's about VERYDARKMAN should not be in his DM doing all that nonsense. Or taking, no, he's too big to be doing that right now. It's time to refine his approach. But Coconut Head, no, they listen. It's okay. Everybody's journey is unique. Let them go through their own journey. That's what I say. Do what works for you. Okay. All right. So, yeah, physical danger, enemies, street fights, which is what Portable was getting into. Portable and Speed Darlington's lifestyle often involve physical altercations. All right. Copying them could put someone in danger. So these are for your children. They might be controversial. It's like, they're going to be the next VERYDARKMAN. Be careful. Okay. They're going to attract threats from interest, special interest like authorities, influential people. You see, VDM's lifestyle of activism has made him a target. That's the reality. All right. So anybody who wants to imitate that, hopefully they won't face worse consequences. He might be getting away with some things that you might not be able to get away with. Be careful. All right. And then obviously when you're noisy like this, the streets, the gang, they want to be involved. They want to be a part of it, right? So portable street credibility is the street. King of the street. I'm a king of the street. I can't tell you how many celebrities did not leave the street. Think about, what's the name of this guy in California, the one that passed away, that got killed in the street of California a few years ago. What's his name? Somebody remind me in the chat. Oh, you know, I'm from the streets, man. I can't leave the street. I'm gonna help the streets, man. You can help the streets. You don't have to be in the streets. It's too much. Okay, you cannot be in the streets if you have 100,000 or more monitoring spirits on social media. It's dangerous. You can't help the streets if you're no longer here. I'm trying to remember his name. Somebody help me in the chat. What's the name of this guy? Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle. All right, got gunned down, broad daylight. Terrible, 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 terrible situation. So, thank you, Unique. Thank you. I thought UL would be on this list. I missed that. I was gonna put UL on the list. I missed it. You know, but yeah, you all should be on it. But you all should be on it. You're right about that. Actually, there's some similarities there. Uncle Beno, how are you, sir? Dear moderator, did you actually delete the key points I captioned? Do MOP so it's highlighted? No, nothing is being deleted. If it's deleted, I will see it. Oh, something may be deleted. No. Did somebody delete something? Let me go into the public page. I'm highlighting them though. Let's see here. I thought I was going to be done in 1 hour, but clearly this is not happening. Share this. If you think other people can benefit from this, make sure you're sharing it. Where is oh, where is the chat? It's weird. Something weird is going on here. Oh, the chat is still loading. Anyway, they're all in the chat. Yeah, we just don't delete here. You have to be super disrespectful. We haven't seen that in probably more than a year. Then if you post something that doesn't post, this YouTube filters it by itself if it has anything inflammatory. So they're trying to protect the platform like that too. All right, so where are we? So copying these individuals without understanding the risk is a dangerous game. Their influence shields them to some extent, but for an average person, it can lead to financial ruin, jail time, social rejection. Yes, you can't just walk the streets anyhow, no longer. Mental breakdown is a real thing. You see people that are super rock star that even did it right way and they struggle with their mental health, and yes, even physical harm. All right, so now instead of copying their recklessness, it's better to learn from their marketing strategies while avoiding their self-destructive behaviors. All right, so now there's if you don't know, I do recommend that people read 48 Laws of Power. 48 Laws of Power is neither right nor wrong. I like Robert Greene. Robert Greene has some really good lessons in his books and his videos, you know. But there's some other laws here that I'm looking at. Some laws I want to highlight. So for example, with Very Dark Man here, so I'm basically, I extracted some stuff here. Very Dark Man, court attention at all costs. Law number 6, VDM thrives on controversy using social justice issues and public feuds to stay relevant. That is law number 6. Okay, law number 17, you can go Google it yourself, you'll see them. Okay, keep others in suspended terror, cultivate an air of unpredictability. His approach makes it hard to predict his next move, keeping his audience engaged. That's Very Dark Man, right? Law number 37, create compelling spectacles. He stages his activism in a way that makes it visually. Somebody said, if you want to do good, why not just do it? I never say that. You notice I never say that kind of stupid stuff. if you want to do good, just do good. Why do you have to bring it to the public? That's stupid. Okay, you should do it to the public for many reasons, but you know, compelling spectacles is one of the reasons. It can also inspire other people to do good. But what about when it's just dragging Edu? If you notice, when he dragged Nedu, I dragged Nedu too. I dragged him for a different reason, but I dragged him for being, why are you inside of VDM's DMs? This is the reason why I dragged him, right? So it's not necessarily always straightforward thing. There are nuances to it, right? So, but why? Because very dark man, remember law number 6, at all costs, he will do anything at all costs. If it's going to be entertaining to the Rattel gang, which is probably making him feel invisible right now, he's going to just, you know, and that could be at the detriment of your own well-being or your business well-being, which was the case for Nedu, because Nedu's business was actually put on the line when people start saying he scammed people of 60 million naira. So now the way he addressed it today, I really like it. What he addressed today makes sense to me. That, you know, a lot of people, they spend a little money, they think magic is supposed to happen, they're not happy. They go into VDMs, all of them will collect. If you're inside of VDM's DM, and you, yeah, you're gonna collect. You're gonna collect one day. I promise you. If you're big enough, if you're not relevant, then it's okay. Okay, but one day. Yeah. So let's keep that a G. If you are inside of VDM's DM and you are like a Obi Kubana, you're gonna be exposed. Allah, it's going to happen. I'll be here, I'll be laughing when it happens. Okay. No, he will never do that. No, that's exactly what he's been doing. He did it to Tunde, not all these powerful people that have been begging me, all of you will get exposed. Just wait for it. Okay. Because why? Because at all cost. Okay. Law number 6. Court attention at all costs. Is it dangerous? Yes. You know, in fact, all of the laws are dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Okay. So law number 42 is something that's been attributed to very dark man. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. What happened when he was supposed to attack D1? What did he do? When it was time for him to attack D1, what did he do? You guys tell me. Instead of him to attack D1, who did he attack? He attacked. Somebody said he went to the root. I said no. I can see that, but yeah. But anyway, maybe. Okay. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. That's something he practices. So he targets influential figures, exposing them to shake the system. So if you have something, so if influential figures don't feel safe with you, it's only a matter of time before you crash and burn. That's the dangerous part about all of this, right? But it's a strategy, okay? It's a strategy that you have to be careful when you decide to use it, when you attack the shepherd. But let's talk about Bobrisky. Bobrisky is also law number 6. Caught attention at all costs. He built an empire on being controversial and the gender fluid thing in a conservative society. That is a big deal. Over here, the average transgender is not going to get that kind of attention here. But in Nigeria, yes. So that is actually number 6, sixth law of power. Number 25, recreate yourself, right? Reinvented from an ordinary personality in Nigeria's most famous cross-dresser. Okay. Law number 32, play to people's fantasies. What? How is that my fantasy? I never want to cross-dress. Okay, all right. I didn't say you want to cross-dress, but there's something there. There's a reason why when you see Bobrisky, I'm talking about you.
Stop the cap.
There's a reason why when you see Bobrisky in your news feed, you scroll back up like, hey, what is Bobrisky saying today? Why are you doing that? Oh, okay. Whatever reason you're doing it, yeah, that's the reason I'm talking about, right? But yeah, so recreating yourself can actually attract a certain level of attention and give a certain level of power. Law number 32, play to people's fantasy. Yeah, that's the one, right? Law number 5, so much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Okay. So carefully curate an online persona that commands attention. Now they're talking about Bobrisky. Okay. Not Very Dark Man, right? Very Dark Man does not really care about reputation outside of integrity. What do we know about integrity? He cannot keep that up. He's not with NGO money. He's not going to be able to keep that up. He already tested himself. He's actually going to self-sabotage. Why? Because he also get drunk off of attention. So with NGO money, people's money, and all this stuff, you can see some of his followers are already saying, I used to follow, I used to be a Rattel gang, but I kind of like didn't like how you've seen enough people actually saying that. So that's why it's time to refine, because if he keeps it up, human beings are mad. They will leave you. Okay, they will leave you exactly with the problems you created for yourself. For Speed Darlington, law number 26, keep your hands clean. He starts online beefs, but often avoids taking direct responsibility when things escalate. That's what they're saying based off of the stories that I feed the system. Law number 27, play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. He positioned himself as an African superstar despite no major hits. That is funny. Despite no major hits, he positioned himself as an African superstar. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Portable will not fall in that category. Portable has a hit, right? Law number 17, keep others in suspended terror, cultivate an air of unpredictability. Fans never know whether it's serious or joking. Keeping them hooked. That is a good one. Law number 34. I'm talking about the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Okay, it's a good book to read. Law number 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be trusted like one. Remember, he was attacking Burna Boy. One of the reasons was because Burna Boy called himself Odogu, or somebody called him Odogu. He got pissed off about that, right? So, Speedality demands respect as a global superstar, despite industry rejection. See, the clownish thing that we laugh at sometimes, that's in social media, is people's power, right? We just don't know how long it's going to last, because there's no royalty money that's going to come from that. Okay, so now the dangers of Speedality's approach. There are some dangers here. Let me go back to danger. I didn't read the dangers of Very Dark Man's approach. The dangers of Very Dark Man approach: he attracts powerful enemies, politicians, influencers, security forces. The risk of legal action, censorship, that means they will silence you, and being blacklisted. That's the dangers of Very Dark Man's approach. The dangers of her approach, Bobrisky's approach, right? Legal risk, arrest, financial scrutiny, right? Government crackdowns. I actually don't think so much Bobrisky on that, right? But loss of credibility if public realizes that the lifestyle is exaggerated, right? The extra, like, let me teach you girls how to keep your man. There's only so far you can go. Everybody will get old. Once you start showing some cracks, all that body that is messing with, yes, there's only so much you can go with that, right? Then overexposure. Being too controversial can lead to cancellation. This is true for all of them. The danger of Speed Darlington's approach, right? They said delusion versus reality. He believes his own hype, which can lead to self-sabotage, right? The drunk, getting drunk off of your own hype, getting high off of your own supply. Yeah, that is real. Inconsistent career growth, right? We're talking about Speed Darlington. Lack structured progress. We're building blocks here. We're building empire. You need to build them on structures. If you don't do that, people say, Tinubu, what kind of structure? I said, he has structure. Calm down. He has structure. Okay. He has structure that works specifically for your society. You can argue with your destiny all you want, but he has structure that he's been building for 30 years. You can argue that they stole money and you can do all that, right? Stolen mandates, sure. But there's some kind of structure. You can call it Barao structure. You can call it T-Pain structure, right? But that's something that social media, if you get super stardom level status overnight on social media, there is a good chance, or too early in life, there's a good chance you don't have structure to sustain it. That makes it difficult to sustain long-term relevance. Financial instability. You're not making any money. You're just having fame, right? Eventually, your legal cases, your legal fees will drown you. Maybe you start raising GoFundMe to support yourself. Last but not least, Portable ZAZU, the street war general. Okay, the laws he uses. Law number 15: crush your enemy totally. He publicly humiliates rivals, ex-wives to be, or ex-wife or wife is angry with today. He will publicly humiliate them, and he never backs down from the fight until of course, right? That's law number 15. He uses it until, we'll talk about the dangers in a second. Law number 28 of 48 laws of power: enter action with boldness. He never plays it safe. It always goes all out. If he's angry with Davido, you go all out, you just go mad. I blame Davido for that one, because Davido should know better to not associate with Portable. But what's wrong? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with associating? Go back to the beginning of this video and watch it from the beginning, okay? There's nothing wrong with any of this. I'm just pointing stuff out to you, that's all. So he never plays it safe. He goes all out, whether in music or controversy, okay? Law number 10: infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Quickly disassociate from people who don't benefit him. So he exits, like I think like within 24 hours, as soon as he realizes that Davido was not feeling him, he just went straight for his juggler, right? Yes, that kind of behavior, the impulsive thing, is he does that. So remember, I'm saying it's not right or wrong. There are times that you need to do that if you are playing the game of power, okay? But you better know these things that you shouldn't just do, or you should do. You better know what you're doing. You notice I keep saying that. Law number 23: concentrate your forces. Focuses on his grassroots fan base, street credibility rather than mainstream acceptance. That's something that Don Jazzy has actually appreciated him for. I think it's a good tactic, but it's a tactic that you have to remember. I said the street don't love anybody, okay? You want to have street credibility, you need sense with it. You can't just be stupid, okay? So you can't say, the street love me. Listen, man. Envy, jealousy, those kind of things, madness, it's real in the streets, okay? The dangers of Portable's approach: obviously legal trouble, multiple arrests, government scrutiny and enemy with the government and things like that, you know, just dragging government officials. Violence: you could see him slap a pastor on video, filmed himself. You could see him exposed by VERYDARKMAN. You could see him punching a man who left his label or something like that at some events at the Fela shrine or something like that, right? Is it Kalakuta or something like that, right? I don't know Lagos, so pardon me if I messed that up. Violence and enemies, okay? The street fights, betrayals, and possible threats to life. Yes, so in the midst of trying to protect himself, he can hurt himself. If you put yourself in a position where you have to protect yourself all the time, you're gonna hurt yourself. All right? And of course, people like this, the career volatility is real. As controversies pile up, the industry will blacklist you because you become a liability. Yeah, you become a liability. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I forgot to remove that banner from the screen. Hit the like button. If you guys think this was valuable, please help me share it. Share. Okay? So this wasn't about dragging them. It's about looking at why are these people. People say, well, why is Kim Kardashian popular? There are real reasons. Oh no, just because she slapped somebody. No, you're delusional. Okay? They're not just popular because they're delusional. No, you think they got popular because of being delusional, because you're delusional. You don't know how life works. Okay? Beyond Beauty says, is Daddy Freeze on this list? No, Daddy Freeze is a very intelligent guy. I won't put him on the this guy. I made this list because at my own personal opinion core level, I think these guys are clowns. I think they're like, Daddy Freeze does not fall in that category for me. Daddy Freeze is an intelligent guy. I disagree a lot with what he has to say, but that's fine. That's just disagreements, you know. So no, I'm sorry, I can't put Daddy Freeze on that list, right? Let's see. He reached to include BVRB. No, 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 I won't do that. No. AG Ohio said, hola, prestigious family. Hello, AG Ohio. Say reach to ASCO. No, no, no. Even Yola Doce. The reason why Yola Doce I'll put on this list is the coconut head thing. I think he's one of those guys that think all publicity are good publicity. Yeah, there's no way that's true. You know, publicity. All publicity are no good publicity because there's something called public relations. There won't be a need for public relations as a skill set, as a concept, if all publicity are good publicity. And anybody who has enough to lose or have something significant they care about to lose, they know that not all publicity are publicity. Okay? So I can't put Nedu does not go on that list for the same reason. These are professional journalists. Right? They have years upon years under their belt. They're not just people that came out of nowhere 3-4 years and got popular just for being controversial. The guys on this list fall in that category. You know, Very Dark Man, they might want to claim that he does some good, he digs borehole and stuff like that, but not really. I feel like he's going to self-sabotage. It's too dangerous, not just for himself, for the general public, because he doesn't think before he jumps on the internet and drag people. So I think Nedu filters what he says. I think that's a professional thing to do. I think Daddy Freeze filters what is. That's why you see Daddy Freeze could not support Clayton the other day. It's like, slow down. That's why Daddy Freeze always say, hey, don't use that word on my platform, because he knows this is business. This is a real business. Like, if you're on the internet and you don't care about being cancelled, that tells me a lot about you. If you don't care about being cancelled, I don't care about being cancelled. That tells me a lot about you. You have nothing except your own ego. That's not good. There's no way that's a good thing. You know? So let's see. You dey fear DF. Put your opinions out there, guys. I will spend another 5 minutes or so. You dey fear DF. Sometimes cons make we leave matter for Matthias. See, this statement is not valid. You didn't tell me anything. Yeah, you need to put some substance behind that statement. AG or IO. It's like somebody coming on my comments and say I disagree with you, and then they just leave us. Okay. Put some substance. All right. Or I could just agree with you. We leave matter for Matthias. How's that?
Oh, you're right.
All right. Tinubu T-Pain, does it fall on this category? How? That's a whole president of 200 million people. What do you mean? I don't hate Tinubu. Tinubu is the president of Nigeria for a reason. It wasn't by mistake. That's a good question. Is 47 on this list? No, Trump is not on this list. I'm sorry. Trump knows what he's doing. Yeah, it's anybody above 50. They're probably not gonna. If somebody's above 40, 45 and they are popular and they've been doing it for a minimum of 10 years, they're probably not going to get on this list. You might not understand them, you might hate the ideologies, you might hate some things they say, but this is a topic for being objective. You need to put your emotions aside. We need to be objective. All right? He didn't care about being cancelled before his friend bought Twitter. Yeah, I think that's just one factor. There's no one single factor that, as you can see, I went through so many talking points here. I went through the 10 similarities. I went through the 5 similarities around our framework. Then I went through 5 dangers. Was that like 20 different talking points? That's 20 of about 2,000 talking points. You know, that's just to help us to provoke your thought process, so you can have some critical thinking going on there, as opposed to, this is how I feel about this person, they must be on this list. Yeah, nah. I think on this session I said twice that personally how I feel, I think these guys are clowns. Right? But I can look deeper and I can say, what can we learn from these guys? Right? What can we learn from these guys? So for that same reason, I cannot put the whole president of the United States or any country in this world for that matter on this list. even if they're a dictator for the past 47 years. There's something, if there's something you can learn from these 4 people, there's definitely something you can learn from the president of a country. For sure. For sure. There's no mistakes here. Okay. All right, that's all I have for you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. If you're looking for marriage coaching, relationship coaching, you're looking for marketing coaching, the link is in the description. You can download my books from there. You can also find me and book a complimentary session to see if I can help you. All right, but you're welcome to tap into that at any point in time. And more importantly, of course, Prestige family, we're catching crews, we're learning. Please share, help me share. It goes a long way. As you know, these are all boring topics, so you need to put some effort behind sharing. It sends some signals and help us find more people like us. Okay, so we can probably do some better job at that. Maybe I could do better too. But if you have any suggestions, anything like that, feel free to also drop them in the comments. I welcome all of them. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.